Can you see the presentation now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So I
Okay.
think we are good. Right. It's visible, all good, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So,
Okay.
very good morning, everyone. I welcome Dr. Dhara Bhatt, my one of the very good friend. She has done her B.Pharm. Yes, yes. So she has done her B.Pharm from the
Thanks.
Babaria Institute of Pharmacy, that is the Gujarat University. She has done her M.Pharm from the KBIPER, that is KB Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research in the Department of Pharmacognosy. And Madam has completed her PhD in the 2019. Madam has also governed the DST Inspire Fellowship for the tenure of 5 years for her PhD. Madam has also worked as an associate professor in the Sharda School of Pharmacy. And right now, Madam is working as a senior research scientist into the Medicines Chemical Private Limited, Navi Mumbai. So, this is with the brief introduction. I welcome you, ma'am, and you can start
Thank
the
you so
presentation.
much. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, sorry for the delay due to some technical issues. So today we will be discussing regarding the regulations in cosmetics. Now, as this certificate course of yours is dealing with the regulations of herbal formulations, so today we will be seeing one of the aspect that is cosmetics. As we all know that herbal industry is blooming right now, and cosmetics is also not left far behind. So, in today's session, we'll be covering the following things. That is, first of all, we will go through the brief history of cosmetics in general, definition of cosmetics. Then we'll be seeing the overview of global and Indian cosmetic market. Then a very brief comparison of the regulations between three major countries, you say like India, US, and EU. And then lastly, in detail, we'll be discussing the regulations of cosmetics in India, how cosmetics in India are regulated as per our Drugs and Cosmetics Act, what are the schedules, what are the rules, if you are a manufacturer, what are the regulations that you need to comply with, what are the regulatory agencies that you will be dealing with if you are into cosmetics. Okay, everything will be covering the manufacturing aspect, import aspect, export aspect, everything. Okay, so firstly, all of us know that, see, cosmetics have been used very ever since the human civilizations have started, right? Every human has a tendency, everybody needs to look good, feel good. So the use of cosmetics is as old as human civilizations. Now, if we see, the first archaeological evidence of cosmetics have been found in the tombs of the Egyptian pharaohs. If you've heard of Cleopatra, Cleopatra was an Egyptian queen, and her beauty secrets are very famous till date also, like the milk and honey, the milk and bath. Right, in the market we have so many products which are mainly focusing on the milk and honey based moisturizers and lotions and whatnot. Okay, so this all secrets are age old. Again, the archaeological evidence for the same, for the use of cosmetics, is also found in the ancient Greek countries as well. Coming to India, India is not behind. We all know that India and its beauty secrets are very, very, very famous. Especially the Ayurvedic cosmetic industry is blooming in the Western countries. Okay, the use of cosmetics in India has been aged since Indus Valley civilization that dates back in 2500 and 1500 BC. Okay, so cosmetics have been used ever since the civilizations have existed. The forms and the formulations might have changed, but the use has been prevalent. Now, if we see the word cosmetic, how it is derived from, the word cosmetic is basically derived from a Greek word which means cosmetike tekene, which means ornament and technique of dressing. The cosmeticos means nothing but it is arranging, skilled in ordering, and cosmos means amongst others ornaments. So metaphorically, cosmetics means nothing but it is something that makes you look in an organized and a very presentable manner. Okay, now here we'll be talking about herbal cosmetics. So herbal cosmetics are also cosmetics. They're no different from cosmetics. The only difference is your main active would be your herbal ingredient or an extract, right? Which would be formulated in various dosage form to give the defined cosmetic benefit. Now, if you see the overall global cosmetic market, if you see this is a survey by a private survey agency. They have made a survey from 2020 to 2030. That is, see, in 2020 the cosmetic market was around 341 US billion dollars, and it is projected to be around 560 US billion dollars in 10 years, which is nearly double. And the growth rate that is expected is 5.1, that is the CAGR, which is nothing but the compound annual growth rate. Okay, see, you can see a steep rise in the use of cosmetics. Now, this is, we are talking about general cosmetic market, which includes herbal also. Specifically, if we talk about herbal cosmetic market, then that is also showing continuous rise. See, here the data we have is of 2023, which is around dedicated market for herbal cosmetics only, which is around 88 US billion dollars. And that is also expected to rise with a CAGR of 5%. And it is expected to show a growth of 144 US billion dollars by 2030. Three. Okay. Now, this is a dedicated survey which shows the regional wise use of cosmetics. So, the first maximum use of cosmetics in the Western world is shown by North America, followed by Europe, then is Asia Pacific, Latin America, and Middle East and Africa. Now, these are few of the key market players in herbal cosmetics. Their brands are very well known and they deal solely into the herbal cosmetics. Now, see, Indian cosmetic market plays a very, very important role because India has got age-old traditions of Ayurveda and herbal. See, Ayush department, okay, every wing of Ayush, like Ayurveda or Unani or homeopathy, every system of medicine has the medicinal plants which are having medicinal value along with the cosmetic value. And if you study the market in detail, you will find cosmetics from each of this category also. So in India, we basically have a very rich traditional knowledge of the use of cosmetics. So, when it comes to a global cosmetic market, India plays a very significant role. See, it is expected that by 2025, India will contribute to 5% of the total global cosmetic market. And I just make sure whatever cosmetics that are projected in the Western world from India are majority based on the herbal products only. Okay. And India will be among the top five cosmetic players in terms of revenue generation when it comes to revenue of the cosmetic market. Okay. Now, what are the key factors that are driving the expansion of cosmetic market? See, first of all the cosmetic brands are getting their due recognition. In the earlier times, if you see, there was no media available. The social media was not this prevalent. People were not aware. You used to go to shop, you used to see whatever you see on the counter, you buy. Now there is so much of awareness through every media. Major role is being played by the social media platforms, be it your Instagram, be it your Facebook, the AI system, whatever you search, it pops up on your screen, the online shopping apps. Okay, all these things have significantly contributed to the market share of not only cosmetics, but if you say all the FMCG items, which are nothing but the fast moving consumer goods. The FMCG industry has seen a significant boost ever since the use of the social media platforms, right? Now, widespread increase in the adoption of skincare. Now, skincare word, if you hear, this is in the recent past only. Earlier, whenever we used to talk, like, see, when we were kids, for us, cosmetics were only the color cosmetics, be it your lipsticks or your nail paints or things like that. We never knew what skincare was. To us, skincare was only the basic moisturizers, that is your creams and powders that we used to use, and that is it. There was no awareness of using we never had different face washes and body washes and stuff like that we have right now. So the skincare is a recent concept that has come in the past few years, and that is contributing a major industry. Now there is this trend that people invest more in skincare rather than the color cosmetics. That is the changing trend. Now, next point is the consumers have also become aware of whatever they are using. Whenever you go to buy any product, you are definitely going to check your labels. See whether your product is cruelty free, no testing on animals done, it is silicone free, paraben free, right? Mineral free. All these are the labels. People are looking for the clean products. They want very clean and organic products for their own. So indirectly, we are going back to the roots, but the formulations are changing. We have formulated our age old secrets into a very new and adaptable format. So that is this. Then, last but not the least, the increasing awareness in the male community. Earlier, the cosmetics were only referred to be used by the women. Nowadays, even the male are very conscious, and they have become aware of their grooming as well. There are dedicated brands which will only do the cosmetics for male. So all these factors together have uh, contributed in the significant expansion of the cosmetic and skincare market overall. Fine. Now we will see in brief the cosmetic regulations. Here I'll be briefing you like what are the main regulatory bodies, and just in comparison, I'll be showing you what is the difference between the cosmetic regulations in India, US, and EU. See, cosmetic market is not as highly regulated as the pharmaceutical market is. Okay, in pharma we have very stringent regulations, unlike to the cosmetic market, but because of its increased use and because of its increased demand since last 10-15 years, the cosmetic regulations have come into place, and the cosmetics are also being projected and they are being regulated because many side effects were found. Because the market was not regulated, the manufacturers were using many toxic and carcinogen compounds which were found to be hazardous to human health in upon the prolonged use, and hence there was a need which arose that the cosmetic market should be regulated as well. Okay, so now first of all, we'll talk about the authorities. Which authorities regulate the cosmetic markets in India, US, and EU? So in India, it would be SEDESCO. US, it's US FDA. In EU, it is EMA, that is European Medicines Agency. Okay. Now, rules and regulations. All of you might have studied in jurisprudence. You might have studied various schedules in the regarding your Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and rules in 1945. So that is being governed on. Then in US, you have US FDA, and EU, you have council directives. There are several clauses mentioned in the council directive which governs the cosmetics. Now, labeling. See, labeling is also an important aspect. Like you have labeling guidelines for your pharmaceutical products. You also have guidelines for labeling your cosmetics, and it should comply part 15 of your Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945. According to US, it should comply the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act and the Fair Packaging and Labeling Act. Okay. In this labeling, in India, labeling is covered under Drugs and Cosmetics Act, and for packaging, we have separate legal metrology and BIS standards that needs to be complied on. And in EU, based on council directives, the same clauses, you need to comply with the labeling. Then pre-market approval. In India, yes, it is required. For US, it is not required. And again, in EU, the pre-market approval is not required. Talking about the expiry date that is mentioned on the cosmetics, in India, it is mandatory as per SEDESCO. Use before date is given. If you see any cosmetic, you will see like a container sort of a thing, and 12, that is 12 months. That is nothing but the shelf life of the cosmetics that is being depicted on your cosmetics. That is, you should use in 12 months. Again, in US, there is no such mandatory requirement, although companies give their own shelf life for their own good, but it is not a mandatory requirement. And in EU, date of minimum durability is less than 30 months, and period after opening the durability, if it is greater than 30 months, then it is required. Post-marketing reporting system in India, no. In US, it is voluntary registration program for cosmetics. It is there. Again, in EU, it is not applicable. Okay. Now, color, additive, and safety requirement in India, it is applicable. In US, the 21 CFR, that is Code of Federal Regulations. Now, see, 21 CFR for US FDA covers the entire pharmaceuticals and drugs. Everything it is covered under 21 CFR. Under clauses 73, 74, 81, and 82, the color additive and safety requirements are covered. And Annexure 4 of Cosmetics Directive 76 and 768 under EEC covers for EU. Labeling declaration in India, they are as per BIS, that is Bureau of Indian Standards. And according to the Packaging Commodity Regulatory Organization for India, again, US FDA according to 21 CFR 701 and 740. And Article 6 of Cosmetics Directives under EEC covers EU. Safety warning in India, it is given in the inner label only. In US, it is given on the principal, that is your main display panel. And in EU, it is given in both in the outer and inner packages. Now, the language in which the description is given in India, English, US, English, and in EU, their native language, be it Italian or French or German, along with English, is given nowadays. Okay. Safety in India, the manufacturer must maintain the records. In US also, it is similar. It is the responsibility of the safety of cosmetics of the manufacturer. And in EU, manufacturer maintains the product information file. Okay, see, now anywhere you go, even if you are doing third-party manufacturing or a loan license, the sole responsibility of the safety of your medicine or your cosmetics, be it anything, irrespective, it lies with the manufacturer only. Okay, now color and additives nomenclature. See, if you go through the causing index, okay, that is nothing but the cosmetic ingredient index that is given by EU in detail, you will find inky names. Inky names are nothing but they are the cosmetic ingredients names which are accepted universally. Okay. So the schedule in India, if we see, there is Schedule Q, which contains list of dyes, colors, and pigments to be used in cosmetics and soap. And under IS, that is Indian Standards 4707, it is given as per the BIS. 158 coloring agents are mentioned. See, the BIS also has standards for around 38 to 40 personal care and use items. If you just go and Google BIS, you will find standards for each of your product, how to test them, how to manufacture them, how to evaluate them. Right, along with the method, the standards are given for all of your majority of your products. Okay. Then in US, the official names of the colors and additive cosmetics are designated by FDA, which is 21 CFR Part 73. And FDA applies two-fold labeling of colors. So it labels the color two ways. One is according to the colors which are mentioned by FDA, and others it follows the coloring index, that is the CI code, which is followed by the EU. Okay, coloring index CI number is used, and international nomenclature of cosmetic ingredient, that is inky names, are attested for the coloring agents. But in general practice, if you see this, inky names are accepted worldwide. Everybody uses this for cosmetics of export. So this was about the brief comparative regulatory authorities and how cosmetics are regulated in India, US, and EU. Now, we will be discussing cosmetic regulations in India. Okay, here I'll be discussing every aspect of cosmetic manufacturing, import, export, loan license, what forms are required, everything. Okay. Excuse me. So, cosmetic regulations in India. See, as I said, see, cosmetics was never a very highly regulated market. It came into existence because the need of regulation of cosmetics was found. So the first notification regarding the import of cosmetics. Now you see, earlier India was not a huge cosmetic industry. Only few of the brands like Lakme or Revlon, couple of brands were there. They were existent, right? But so majority of the cosmetics that too were imported. So the first notification that came in May 19, 2010. Okay, that was for import and registration of cosmetics. Then, see, whenever any new regulations are come, definitely there will be some resistance shown from the industry point of view because it directly affects their sales. And then it went for extension for implementation until 2011. And now, finally, the implementation of import and registration of cosmetics got implemented in 2013. So, cosmetics has been a regulated market. It has started being regulated just before 10, 15 years, unlike the pharmaceuticals, which have been always regulated. Now, classifications of cosmetics as per CDSCO. CDSCO has given the classifications mainly as skin products that you all know, which includes every skin product, be it your cleansing, moisturizing, makeup, perfumes, anything that is applied on your skin. Hair and scalp products, which includes your hair cleansing products, styling product, hair coloring products, and any other hair scalp products. Nowadays, you also get serums, which are like anti-dandruff serums, hair growth serums, right? Many companies are producing those serums. Nail and cuticle products like your nail polish and nail care. Now even NDDS, that is nail drug delivery system, is also being studied on. And for the antifungal, there are certain nail polishes. There are drugs which are available in the form of your nail paints, which will treat your nail fungal infection. Okay. But that would not be a part of cosmetics. Definitely, that would be a part of your pharmaceutical product, but that is available in the market. Oral hygiene products like toothpaste.
Okay, now you
Got
can
it.
start. Now you can start.
Yes, yes. Now sharing is not. Okay, my screen is being shared, right?
Yes, yes, it is already visible. 19th
Okay,
number
okay.
presentation is there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fine. So we'll continue. The classification: skin product, hair and scalp products, nail and cuticle products, and oral hygiene products. Now, this is an organogram of cosmetic division of the CDSCO. See, the drug inspectors, they report to the assistant drug controllers. They are under the deputy drug controllers of India. Then joint drug controllers, which report to the DCGI. DCGI ultimately reports to the cosmetic division, which is controlled by the CDSCO, and CDSCO directly comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The current DCGI of India is Dr. Rajiv Raghuvanshi. He was appointed in February 2023. Okay. And as a pharma professional, his expertise is in dosage forms. Can you see my screen, the organogram?
Yes, yes, it is organogram of cosmetic division in the CDSCO.
Uh, just a minute.
Slide is changed. You have changed slide from 19 to 20. So it is changed. But it is not.
Wait. It is not visible, no?
No, it is visible. It is visible.
The screen is sharing. Uh, can you see the other slide now? The
No,
cosmetic products does not come under the purview.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is changed. So it takes some 1 to 2 seconds to change.
Okay. Fine. And the whole screen is visible, right?
No,
Or
it is
the
not full
PowerPoint.
screen. PowerPoint mode is there.
Okay, yeah, because yeah, in my phone it is showing the
No.
PowerPoint
It's
mode, and
okay.
here
It's
it is.
okay. That is okay. Don't.
It's fine.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, fine. Okay, the cosmetic products does not come under the purview of drug license. See, as I said that the cosmetics are not directly governed by the drug license, the pharma rules does not apply directly to the cosmetics. The cosmetics are governed under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and Rules 1945. Okay. Then they are also governed labeling declarations by Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay. Next, the cosmetic regulations in India. They are by the standards are set by the BIS. Now, BIS started giving their standards by the detailed standards of ISO standards of screen cream and lipsticks, and the testing for the heavy metals was made mandatory in both of them because they'll be coming in direct contact to the skin. And with lipsticks, the oral aspect also comes in because a part of whatever makeup you wear that goes into your mouth. So the arsenic and lead, these two heavy metals are mandatory for all other heavy metal testing apart from the total heavy metal testing you do. Okay, the guideline and the methods for the same are given in the BIS standards. Now we will see the definition of cosmetics. Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940. Okay, as per the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940, what do you mean by cosmetics? This you might already have studied. Cosmetics means any article that is intended to be rubbed, poured, sprinkled, or sprayed on or applied on the human body part for cleansing, beautifying, promoting attractiveness, or altering the appearance, means which enhances your beauty or it cleanses, and it contains any ingredient that is a part of the cosmetic ingredient. Okay, that is the definition of cosmetics. Now, what are misbranded cosmetics? See, misbranded cosmetics are the ones which will use the colors or labeling which are not permitted. Okay, the labeling is not as per the given directives. It bears a statement which is false or misleading. Okay, the claims which are made are false or misleading, then you would specifically categorize them as the misbranded cosmetic. This is covered in the section 17C of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. Then we have 17D, which covers the spurious cosmetics. Now, spurious cosmetics are nothing but directly for you to understand. They are generally the first copy of the cosmetics. Okay, the first copy that are being made, the cosmetics which are made by another manufacturer, which are being which resembles the other cosmetics, it bears individual or company's name which is not the original manufacturer. This you will call it as a spurious cosmetics. It is manufactured under a name which belong to another cosmetic. It is an imitation or a substitute of another cosmetic brand. Then you will call it as a spurious cosmetic. Means it is just a copy but not a true cosmetic. Then Chapter 3 of Drugs and Cosmetics Act, that deals with import of drugs and cosmetics. Are my slides changing? No. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Just let me know when they are not changing, because in my phone it is stuck and the slides are not changing, but here they are. Okay.
Yes. Okay, now.
Okay, fine. Now we will be seeing the import rules of cosmetics, which is covered under Chapter 3 of Drugs and Cosmetics Act. The Rule 129, which covers registration of cosmetics products imported into the country, it is governed under Rule 21. The licensing authority, that is the central government, gives the license to any person under the Rule 22 of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. It should be registered. The application is mainly submitted to the DCGI under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, New Delhi. Okay. These are the rules. These are the set of the rules which are governed. Rule 129A, that is the application for the registration certificate. Form 42 needs to be filled under Schedule D. Rule 129B, you need to fill Form 43 for the registration of import of cosmetics. Then the grant of registration certificate is given. 129D covers duration of the registration certificate, how long you are registered to import the cosmetics, and then the suspension of the license of registration is covered under Rule 129E. What is the registration process for the import of cosmetics. First of all, an application in hard copy and soft copy is both submitted under Form 42 with a cover letter. It is viewed, stamped, and signed by an authorized person. The fees of US $250 or equivalent has to be paid for the registration of cosmetic import. And see, the path of import. Now you cannot import your cosmetics the way you like. There are authorized entry which are given to the country, authorized routes which are authorized for import of several goods. Okay, all goods are imported through specific routes. And talking about cosmetics, cosmetics are imported through ports which are listed in Rule 43. If you study the Rule 43, the list of ports will be given, and only through those entry points your cosmetics can be imported. Now, these are the documents, checklist of all the documents which is
Okay.
required for the
Excuse me, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yes.
The slide is changing very slow. So just tell me
Uh,
which slide is there, which slide number is there right now.
slide number 30.
Okay, so it is not changed. So can you please do the change? Click one to two
Yes.
times so it will go.
Now
Okay.
it is
It will
changed.
be 30. Yes, okay. Now it is 30.
Okay, fine. So I think I'll exit from the presenter mode because in that it is not changing.
Yes, yes.
Fine. Okay, so the documents you'll be needing is covering letter. Uh, Anyways, if you, I'll be sharing the presentation, so later on you can refer to that. The covering
Okay.
letter is required. Power of attorney, Schedule D3, list of ingredients of all the cosmetics, labels, specification, package inserts, the licenses of manufacturer. Means because you are importing, your product is not manufactured in your country. So wherever it has been manufactured, the license details of that, sale certificates, non-animal testing declaration, and declaration of heavy metals. These two are very important parameters, and other documents, which is the application form and the fees. Okay. Now, see, the duration of license, the license will be granted 3 months after your application is done, and maximum limit would be 6 months in case of any discrepancies if they are found and anything needs to be reworked. And the entire duration of license would be 3 years from the date of issue. Now, who all can import cosmetics? Any manufacturer who has the license in India can import the cosmetics. Any authorized agent, subsidiary agent of the manufacturer, like L'Oreal, if you say you have L'Oreal Paris, L'Oreal India also, so they can import directly from L'Oreal Paris, or any other importer can import the cosmetics. Okay, see, there is an online portal given at Sedesco Online. The link is given. You need to register yourself, fulfill Form 42, submit all the application documents which are required. After your approval is granted, after all the scrutiny is done, after all the things are checked, there is this Sugam dashboard which is available, and on the Sugam portal, okay, you will be informed, and your status of application will be visible on Sugam portal. And if the application is not satisfactory, then all the discrepancies will also be informed on the Sugar portal. After the completion, the process of approval is granted. This is an online process. Earlier, that used to be a hard copy process. Now, this Sugam portal deals with the online application. Then again, renewal fees, once your duration of 3 years is completed. So before your 3 years are completed, you again have to fill the form number 43 with the SEDESCO to extend your validity for up to 3 years. And all the duly signed documents which we discussed earlier, along with Form 42 and necessary fees, are supposed to be submitted along with an undertaking or a self-declaration. Okay. So this is the same thing. Manufacturer and importer, how do you register? The same thing has been shown in the chart. Now, there are certain articles which are prohibited for the entry into the country. They are covered under Rule 129 to 135B of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. So, which are these articles? The articles which are of non-standard quality, misbranded or spurious, any article which is harmful for the use, any cosmetic which is containing hexachlorophene, lead and arsenic out of the certified limit, mercurial compounds, and if it is tested on animals, they are prohibited for the import. Okay. Now, standard for imported cosmetics is covered under Schedule S, Schedule Q, and other rules of safety are applicable to it. If you see Schedule S of Drugs and Cosmetics Act, all this 29 cosmetics are placed under Schedule S, and all this comes under the imported cosmetics. All the imported cosmetics falling under this category should comply with the above rules and act that has been discussed. And this is Schedule Q, as I discussed earlier, which contains list of dyes, colors, and pigments that are used for permits to be used in cosmetics and soap. So any color, pigment, or dye which is not mentioned in Schedule Q should not be allowed to be imported or even manufactured. Like import, the manufacturing of cosmetics is covered under Rule 137 to Rule 145 of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. Okay. Now see, you all have studied GMP, that is good manufacturing practice. That is your Schedule M that covers the general allopathic drugs. Schedule M1 is GMP for homeopathic drugs. Schedule M2, which is for your manufacturing of cosmetics. And in your syllabus, I think you study Schedule T, which is for ASU drugs, right? Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani. So all these GMP schedules are mandatory to be followed if your industry is GMP certified. Now, Schedule M2 of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act covers the following aspects: the general requirements. It is very much similar to Schedule M or Schedule T that you have studied. Location, buildings, water supply, waste disposal, workbenches, stops, everything is covered under Schedule M2. And these are the equipments for the formulation of following uh, formulations are covered under Schedule M2 for powders, creams, lotions, etc. These are the list of formulations which are listed in your Schedule M2, and the equipments required for each of these formulations are given in detail. You can check Schedule M2 for Drugs and Cosmetics Act if you are interested to study in detail. Now, how to obtain a license for manufacture? Earlier, we saw how to import the drugs. Now, if you want to manufacture, what you should do. So for manufacturing, basically, like for import, you had Form 42 and 43. For manufacturing, you need to comply to BIS standards along with the CDESCO standards, and a manufacturer, the licensee, should fill the form number 31, which is the form for application, along with fees of rupees 2,500 and inspection fees. Once inspection is done, application is successful. Under form number 32, a license for the manufacture of cosmetics is granted. Okay. So what all things will be inspected before granting the license? The layout of the factory premises, all the necessary equipments and machineries to be involved, all the documentation that who is going to manufacture or whether the place is rented or owned, etc. All this will be seen by a licensing authority, and if all of this complies, a license under form number 32 will be granted for the manufacturing of cosmetics. Now, like loan license, I discussed the third party manufacturing that is also given under form 32A. If I am the manufacturer but I don't have the factory premises, then I will use the facility of somebody else to manufacture my own products, which is also called as third party manufacturing, that is covered under that. Okay, under loan licenses. So a person not having his own manufacturing facilities can get cosmetics manufactured from the licensed cosmetic manufacturer under license systems. For that, Form 31A needs to be filled, and if all the requirements are okay, then you will be granted your license under Form 32A, which is a loan license. Now, see, adequate space for manufacturing is required, necessary equipments and machineries, and testing facilities of raw materials and finished good products. These are the two mandatory things. You should have an in-house laboratory for testing, or you should also have somebody else's mic is on. Can you please mute that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah. So see, in-house testing of your products along with the uh, testing of your raw materials and finished good products is a mandatory requirement when it comes. The IPQC should also be there in place. Then the personals which are being employed in the industry should hold a degree in pharmacy, They should be registered pharmacist or a person with a chemistry background are required at the facility for the testing. Conditions of license. See, if you are a manufacturer or if you are having a loan license, if your license is say for 3 years or 5 years, for that entire duration of time, you should own the place. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए that today you are manufacturing, you have a license of 3 years. After the end of 1 or 2 years, you sell your place to somebody else. No, that is not possible. For the entire license duration period, that site should be under your control. Okay. Then you should test each batch of the raw material, each batch of the finished products, and all the records of this testing should be maintained at the industry. Then there is Schedule U, which are showing the particulars to be shown in the manufacturing records. Whenever there is an inspection, all these records are known to be shown, like what is the batch size, batch number, what was the batch of the raw material that was used, what is the quantity used, how many finished products are produced. All this data, all the inventory data, how much you have exported needs to be maintained, and all this checklist is given under Schedule U1 for the cosmetics. Then records of raw materials needs to be maintained, as I told you. Prohibition of manufacture and sale of certain cosmetics. Now, this is exactly the same as import. Whatever things you cannot import, you cannot even export or manufacture. Okay. They are exactly the same standards which I discussed for the import of cosmetics, which we discussed for the import of prohibition of cosmetics. Okay. So all these standards needs to be compiled by manufacturer also who is manufacturing. Now for import, if you remember, the registration license was for 3 years. The manufacturing license grant will be given for 5 years. And during this 5 years, during any inspection, any regulations are, if they are not being followed, the local authority has the authority to cancel your manufacturing license at any given point of time. Okay. Now, like we saw, the labeling of the cosmetics, it is governed by the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. The packaging mainly is governed by the Legal Metrology Act. Even the packaging of pharma comes under the Legal Metrology Act also. And the BIS standards. All these three things together will govern the labeling aspects. The manner of labeling, see, it should be labeled, the name of the cosmetics, name of the manufacturer, site of manufacturer should be mentioned both on inner and outer labels. Declaration of all the ingredients should be given. Again, if it is a very small ingredient, only on the small package size of a cosmetic, then the details need to be shown on the outer package only. Then again, the list of ingredients should be shown according to their quantities. Any hazardous use, if it is there, the directions for the safety and warning should be used. A statement of the names and quantities of the ingredients which are poisonous should be mentioned on the label. Okay. Then, as I told, if it is a very small, like 10 grams or 25 ml product, it needs to be mentioned. The batch number of every product has to be mentioned along with the letter of prefix B. Similarly, the manufacturing license. Every manufacturer will have their own manufacturing license number that needs to be described on the package with the suffix prefix M. Then, as I told you, any ingredients, they should be listed in the form of quantities that they are used, the one which is in the descending order of their volume and weight. Okay. Maximum number of quantity that is used should be labeled first, followed by the least. Okay. So this is how you will label. I have shown you an example of labeling. See, it has the ingredients of the products, your product name, the brand logo, the manufacturing license number, the MRP, manufacturing address. See, sometimes if it is a loan license, the company that is owning the product, they have to mention their address also, and the site where their product is manufactured, they have to mention both the addresses. So here, both the addresses are shown. So this is an example of labeling of the products. Now, we discussed everything about import, manufacture, and export of cosmetics. There are certain penalties in case if any of these rules are not followed, then action will be taken against the manufacturer, exporter, or importer. Now, these penalties are: if you import spurious cosmetic, you have a penalty of 3 years, which may extend up to 5 years in jail with a fine of 5,000 rupees. Then again, import of cosmetics that are prohibited under Section 10, that has the same penalty. Repeated offense, if you continuously go on importing the spurious cosmetics or prohibited cosmetics, then you have imprisonment for 5 years and a fine of rupees 10,000. And sale and manufacturer of the misbranded cosmetics can lead to imprisonment of 3 years, which can extend up to 5 years with a fees of 5,000 rupees. So these are the offenses and penalties in case of any regulations are broken. So yeah, these are the references, and that is it. This is all about the regulations of cosmetics in India in detail. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Now, anyone has any question, then you can ask. This is the very interesting topic about cosmetics. So, if any student have any question, then you can ask your questions. Yes, Lakshika, you want to ask anything about cosmetics?
No, ma'am, everything is clear.
Okay, then thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry for the technical glitches that
No, 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 that is
we
okay.
were facing.
No, no,
Yeah.
that's okay. So we would like to give you a certificate for the token of appreciation for taking this beautiful lecture on the very interesting topic that is the regulation of cosmetics. So thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
coming in.
Thank you so much. My pleasure to connect back to the institute, and I can see the familiar names on the screen. So it feels good as well.
Yes, they are the students of same age, so you might know all the students.
Yes, 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 yes. I know all of them. And I do
Okay.
remember their names also. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you
So
once
thank you
again.
so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. And it was quite a good session with you.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you so much.
Okay, now every student, I request to please rejoin in the next link, which is already shared with you. That will be the lecture of Dr. Shruti Bhavsar. So just leave this meeting and join in the next meeting right now only.
Thank you.